He said a home loan broker, you know, he chills at the local German bistro bar. You just chat about stuff. He retired and cut coffee, alcohol, and tobacco cold turkey. Yeah. My favorite are those people that just have like a weird hangout spot. Like, I know one guy that just goes into this one bodega, and he's done this for like 20 years. He just goes into this one bodega and just hangs out there. He doesn't own the bodega. He doesn't work at the bodega. He just kind of like knows the guys that work there. And he would go in and like buy food and like sit there and talk with the guys for a little bit. And it turned into him just going there even if he had nothing to buy, and he just sits there and talks. And then because he started sitting there, they put some chairs out, and now there's like 4 people that will do it. It's like in like older movies when you'd see like a bunch of dudes just hanging out in a barbershop. And you'd be like, who does that? But they just do it because they know like an employee and they like talking to him. I know this one guy. So like usually those people are kind of like in and out, but I know one guy that's just in this one bodega literally every day. I had another friend that would come by this one spot that I would be at a lot. And he was an old war vet, and he didn't really like have any family. And he just like came out to check out this one place one time, and we just kind of like talked to him, and I like learned his story, and I was like, you should probably come here more. like what do you do? And the dude did nothing with his life, like nothing. He just sat home and watched TV, and we were like, come here. And now he's like a really close friend. He just walks over to this one spot every day, and that's it. You know, it's great. It's a group of 4 old retirees that sit outside a local donut place. Always say hi when you see them in the morning. Yeah, that shit's the best. That shit is the best. I'm in New York City now. That's one of those reasons why I really like can't move. I really like can't. When I say like I need to be in the Northeast and I need to be in the city, it's shit like that. You know, just knowing that there are like regulars at certain spots, I can be a regular at a certain spot, this kind of stuff. I like need to have that because I don't think that is as prevalent in a lot of other areas in the US, and I don't like that. I think you can find that in any city, but I think it's much more common in the Northeast. I don't know. A lot more preservation of that sort of like standard community culture. But I think it's hard to have that without like really big density, you know? So I said sitting alone watching TV isn't great, I say, as I sit alone watching Twitch TV. Yeah, but you can type here, you can interact here. That's the big difference. That's why I like streams so much more than I like sitting there and watching TV, because you still get social interaction. There's a community here. When I am not live, you can go in the Discord and you can still talk to people from this community. It's still a community, right? TV, you get nothing back. Nothing. No one to talk to. No one will hear you, you know? Like, that's... It's okay to watch some TV, but when you're, like, older and that's the only thing you do, you know. So I think live streams are the way moving forward, personally. You know? Lurkers. Some people do like to just watch, but I mean, you have the option. You do indeed. You can get in really small towns too. You can. The problem is in smaller towns, suburbs, etc., there's a lower population. So there will always be like those little pockets of community where these people go to this thing and those people sit at that place, whatever. But if you don't fuck with them, that's it. You know, whereas in a dense city, there are a lot more of those. So if you don't fuck with one, you can go find another, you know, and within a radius, within an area that you might actually frequently go to. So I feel like that's the benefit. In Sweden, you see that kind of thing with immigrant communities a lot. You're jealous of their 8 hours a day of drinking coffee in a cafe as after work. Yeah. Honestly, it's underrated. It's underrated having a spot you can just go to and shoot the shit with people every day. That's why I'm like, yeah, streaming is the way. Because at least I think with the internet, within communities and things, there's too many people and everything's so big and scaled out. It's really hard to have that sense of actual community in a lot of places. A lot of shit isn't even real people typing. It's fucking bots and everything. And a lot of things are not really like one spot you go to see similar people all the time, you know? But with a chat, with a Discord, you actually do have that. So that's why I like this kind of stuff a lot. And before I was a streamer myself, I would watch a lot of Twitch. I would just sit around and watch a lot of Twitch because that's what I liked. You know, I would either go outside and have people in a place that I would hang out with, or I'd do it online. And that's how I liked to fill a lot of my time, you know? So, GEEGA's Twitch and Discord is our bodega. Dude, this is the barbershop. You're like the barbershop dudes in Coming to America. Have you ever seen that movie? It's one of my favorite movies. And there's like the old man sitting in the corner just yelling. Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. Yeah, yeah. We gotta find the old man. Actually, they're all old. This one. Where's the old man? Yeah. Here we go.
You must be out of your damn mind. Joe Louis, the greatest boxer ever lived. I'll be with you boys in a minute. He was bad in Cassius Clay. He bad in Sugar Ray. He bad in that. Who that? The new boy got? Mike Tyson. Look like a bulldog. He bad in him too. He done whipped Mike Tyson there. He whipped all their asses. What about Rocky Marciano? Oh, there they go. There they go. Every time I start talking.
Dude. That shit is so real. The thing is, this movie's set in Queens. It's set in New York City. Okay, so it's like this shit is set in like I see this and I'm like, I literally know every one of these people. I know 20 of every one of these people. And that's the kind of shit that I would do. I won't, obviously I'm not going to say which place I always would go to, but there were a few places and there was one spot that was like that. Like, let's say it's like, you know, going to like a random barbershop, like a random whatever the fuck kind of place. And I would just sit around and talk to people. And everyone would usually be pretty old. It would be like a huge range of people from all walks of life would just come in, do whatever they're doing, and then some of them would just stay and we'd just like fuck around in the corner, like just sitting there. And a lot of these people are people that like I had nothing in common with. Nothing in common with any of these people. But none of us had anything in common with any of each other. We would just like sit around and talk anyway. And that shit was great. And they would argue about the dumbest shit like this. I remember one of them was talking about, oh, Gleason's gym. Gleason's. And they were like, oh, you know, Gleason's gym was cool, but it was just well known. It wasn't the best one. That's this legendary boxing gym in Brooklyn. Okay. And it was like a lot of really big boxers, because boxing was like a huge thing in New York City for a long time. That was where the boxing scene was. And a lot of like the really good boxers trained there. And I remember this guy arguing about boxing and Gleason's gym. He was trying to say Gleason's gym wasn't that good. He was like, it's just that the good boxers went there, but it's not that the gym made them. And then some other guy walks in the door, had never spoken to any of us. It was just some newer guy. He walked in and he was like, fuck you, that place is the best. And they started just like it nicely, just screaming at each other about their like opinions of like whether or not this gym was good. And it was just like, whenever I see that scene of the barbershop, I'm just reminded, because you know how like Eddie Murphy walks in and those guys are already arguing? Imagine if instead Eddie Murphy walks in and just starts screaming at all of them. Like that. I just remember that one argument. And that dude came in and was like screaming. And then he came back 2 days later and he started hanging out every week. He just became part of like the whole circle instantly. Oh man. Everyone talk about food all the time, man. Pretty much every boxer you've heard of has been to Gleason's. I know. Well, that's the thing. We were all like, what are you talking about? That's literally the spot. This is where everyone gets like all the best sparring in that they want to do. Like this is where it happens. And bro was trying to say the gym wasn't that good. We were like, what is your fucking problem, man? I just love that dude just walked in and said, fuck you, instantly. He didn't like start and then ramp up. He just ran and said, fuck you, Gleason's is the best. Oh, it was good. He was a great addition. You ever shout at argue like that? I don't. I don't have that in me. It would just be people yelling and I'd be like, I don't know what you're fucking talking about. Like I would like curse a lot, but I wouldn't scream at people, you know? GEEGA's bodega. We you know, I should get a bodega background. We should do it. It's how men make friends. You're right. Women could never. You're so true. That's right, King. You're not a yeller, not on purpose. Yeah, I'm not much of a yeller either. I can't really, I don't know. When I raise my voice, I'll only do it if I need to, volume-wise, to be heard. And that's it. But, like, in general, if there's space to speak instead of yelling, I will always just speak. I don't know, just blows out my voice. It does nothing for me. Dude, there's no person in this world who is more strong and stressed than a day trader, than a successful one. Those people are like from another fucking planet.